Hi. Hi, how are you?
Hello, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I'm good too. Thank you for asking.
Okay, great. So, is this your first class for the evening?
First class, yeah, this evening, yeah,
Mm,
for
Yes.
today.
Okay.
Correct.
Right. That's amazing. So, could you tell me a little bit about yourself? Because obviously, this is our first session, and I'd love to know a little bit about you before we move forward.
Sure, Ananya. My name is Kumar Ravish, and I'm a working professional.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I live in Noida. I
Mm-hmm.
work for a company, and then I'm here to brush up my conversation skills.
Right, that's amazing. So I'll also tell you a little bit about myself so that you can know me better. I'm Ananya. I belong to Kolkata in West Bengal. I recently post graduated. I did my post graduation from JNU, so I was in Delhi for some time. Right now, I'm preparing for my PhD. And on the other hand, I have been working as a communication expert and an English language teacher since the last 5 years. So that's why I joined this platform. I myself faced a lot of difficulties with speaking English initially. So I used a lot of tips and tricks and hacks to overcome those. So once I actually became successful in that, I thought that I'll try and help others who are kind of stuck in similar situations. So that's why I'm here. That's
Yeah,
more or less about me.
that's really wonderful. Definitely, I
Right.
take some tips from you, which can
Yeah,
probably sharpen
absolutely.
my English. Yeah.
Absolutely. But before that, tell me, you said that you are here to brush up your skills, but are there any, is there any specific problem that you're facing when it comes to speaking in English?
I think, yeah, there are certain specifics where am kind of struggling.
Hmm.
First of all, I think I a little bit struggle in whenever I speak to somebody. I mean, there is a bit of fillers that I have been using every now
Right,
and then,
right. Okay.
and I really wanted to sharpen that. I really don't want to use very often.
Hmm.
So that's one area. And if I have to quote certain others, like I really wanted to work on my idioms and phrases. I
Hmm.
could use
Right.
idioms and phrases during my conversation. So that's the two areas that I am struggling at this point in time.
Okay. All right. But no, kind of problem with, say, the basics like tenses or prepositions or anything.
I probably don't think so.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I also don't think so as of now. But yes, of course, what we'll try to do through this session is that you will obviously speak on the topic. We are going to have a fun, just a fun conversation, and you are just going to tell me a little bit about what you think about the questions or whatever it is. My job is the more difficult one, I feel, because you feel like you are absolutely not a beginner, I can see. So you seem like a more of an advanced speaker. So it would be difficult for me to find out mistakes, I feel, but I'm here to do that. I'll try to, kind of find out or sort out difficulties or areas of problems, if any. And at the end of the session, and I'll try to tell you that these are the things that I noticed and these are the things that you can do better. If there's nothing, then that's great. I'd just try to give you some tips to work out the filler problem. But otherwise, I think, yeah, we'll just see where it takes us from here.
Sure,
Okay.
sure, please. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Do you have any question before we start?
I think let's get into the conversation. Maybe we'll have some. We'll ask you them
Yeah,
certainly.
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, no problem. Okay. So the topic for the day is sleep. I hope you're comfortable with the topic.
Yeah, we can talk about it.
Okay, all right. So
Yeah.
first, the first thing that I want you to do is kind of get into the mode for a debate. Not debate exactly because you won't be debating against anyone, or we can actually make it a more fun activity. Let's make it a switch activity. Have you ever done switch before?
Switch if you have to be a little
Yes.
specific.
Yes, so switch is a specific kind of activity that we do in debate. So, for example, I'll give you a topic, okay? For
Okay.
example, the topic is eating non veg is bad. Okay, that's your topic, and you have to talk in favor of the motion. So, you start giving me reasons that these are the reasons, this is the thing. And I say, in the middle of your talking, I'll just say switch. So, you have to go to the other side and debate against the topic now. So, basically, against yourself and say why eating non veg is not bad. Okay,
All
so
right.
it is fun, and it also makes you kind of challenge your own intellect to a certain extent. So I think you'll have fun if we do that. Okay, is
Sure.
that fine?
Sure. Let's get
Okay,
into it.
absolutely. So your debate is not debate your topic is, topic for the switch activity is sleeping for at least 8 hours is good for our health. That's the topic. That's what the house believes in. So you have to talk in favor of the motion first. When I say switch, I can say switch anytime. You just have to switch to the other one. Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So whenever you're ready, you can start with speaking in favor of the motion. Sleeping for at least 8 hours is necessary or healthy for the body.
I think definitely, I mean, for adults, especially if I talk about, one should take sleep of 7 to 8 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it is considered to be great for your mental well being, for your health well being, right? And what happens is when you take enough sleep, uh, you are able to concentrate yourself, you're able to better analyze yourself, then you're able to make the better decisions, right? So that happens. And somebody who does not take sleep, enough sleep, I would say, that might get into deprivation, which is called a sleep loss or insomnia at certain point in time. There could be a number of reasons why that happens. Ever since we are getting ourselves into technology every day, we are used to getting ourselves devoted towards the electronic gadgets like mobile phones or any other electronic gadgets for that matter, or we tend to watch movies, Netflix, and so many other things, wherein we have watch times have grown a little higher, which is
Switch.
somehow okay. So now, if I have to talk about the against the notion, one should not sleep for 7 to 8 hours. Why? Because if you really wanted to be successful, you should definitely not yourself fine tuned with your sleep cycle. All you have to
Right.
do is get up, whatever sleep that is required for you. Maybe that happens, that'll not happen, within overnight. It'll take some time. It requires a lot of practice. If I talk about a lot many great spiritual leaders, what they do is that when you practice yoga, when you practice something which is really difficult for you at certain point in time, all you have to do is concentrate and get yourself into yoga. So by doing so, you'll be able to manage your entire sleep cycle. You'll you will squeeze it to 2 to 3 hours, and that'll be enough for you. And then for rest of your hours, you can do wonders for your life.
Right.
So
Okay. Yeah. So you can draw a conclusion, maybe trying to, mediate between the two things that you said just now. So maybe try to draw a conclusion that is kind of a middle ground for both the notions, the in favor of whatever you said and the against one as well.
I have
Yeah.
to conclude.
Yeah. Just conclude with a mediation basically between the two notions.
So I think so if I talk about clinically, which has been tested or verified or accepted, is that 7 to 9 hours of sleep is enough for adult, but that can be minimized a little bit with the practice. And if you are able to do that, you are good to go as a human being, and you could do anything and everything for your
Right.
betterment. Yeah, that's what I think.
Right. Amazing. Very good answer. And you were particularly well with the, the format of debate that we just had. You debated against yourself, which is a pretty difficult thing to do at times. But yeah, I did not find you kind of hesitating much, which is always a great thing. And you also seem to be comfortable with the format, though you were not very aware of it beforehand. So that is also sign of good adapting skills. So good job at that.
Thank you.
Otherwise, very good. Right. Okay. Now, question and answer. Some basic questions before we go to feedback, obviously. So, tell me, do you have any funny experience or weird experience with people snoring or people sleep talking or maybe sleepwalking? I don't know to what extent. Yeah.
Snoring has been really difficult for a lot of time for a lot of people to tackle, and that has become the lifestyle of today. Like people are getting themselves into obesity, right? All because of their fooding habit, the lifestyle,
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
So and there's people find it difficult to get themselves into gym or exercise.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is when you put on your weight, there's a high possibility that that'll end up snoring, and that
Right.
could be frustrating for your partners, or probably for your children for that matter.
Yeah.
So snoring is definitely I think something which has been one of the things that people are struggling on day-to-day
Yeah.
basis.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it has not been restricted to only adults.
Mm-hmm.
Children also go through it. Maybe somebody who is more than 15 years of their age group. So I never found any specific medicine,
Mm-hmm.
but there are some practices which people commit, or they uh, claim that if you practice all of those, maybe you'll get rid of it.
Right.
But I have no clue if that works or not.
Right. That's a good answer. Now, my last question would be, what do you think? Like, would you consider yourself an early riser or a night owl? And how do you think that has shaped your life over the years?
I'm actually a night owl.
Yeah.
Why? Because I work in night shift.
Right.
I had to stay awake for the entire night, and then
Okay.
so I go to bed probably by 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the
Okay.
morning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's how I start my day.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah.
but if I have to talk about the somebody who's an early riser,
Mm-hmm.
so definitely that's a great practice to be in,
Mm-hmm.
or to inculcate that. Uh, if you are able to manage, if you're able to manage yourself to get up early, then you have so many other things that you can probably plan out your day
Hmm.
accordingly, and then you will be a little bit successful as well in order to execute all of those. So I think
Right.
early rising is a best practice, and one should definitely get into it, or one should definitely think about it.
Hmm.
But
Right. Yeah. Hmm. No, no, no. You continue. You continue.
so but nowadays people go to their beds maybe at 1 o'clock, sometimes 12 o'clock or 1 o'clock. So
Mm-hmm.
consequently, they're not able to wake up at 6 o'clock or 5 o'clock. This is
Yeah.
but natural. Somebody sleeps for 7, 8 hours. They won't be able to manage the clock, the natural clock.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I have to say.
Yeah. But is there anything particularly bad, according to you, about being a night owl or someone who sleeps late at night? You said 12, 1. It's in fact, a lot early for some people. Some people actually go to sleep at 3 or 4 even without having
Correct.
to do the night shift. Yeah.
Correct.
So,
Absolutely.
yes.
There's
So, do you
nothing
think
bad
there's,
into it,
yeah.
but
Hmm.
people say that. I mean, if you're working, I mean, days are for for people to work, and night
Yeah.
is always to get yourself to bed.
Yeah.
But due to our constraints, so many constraints, if I talk about, due to your liabilities and everything, or
Hmm.
suitability, I mean, you're not able to live up to the expectation of what society think.
Right, right. Absolutely. Okay, that's great. Thank you so much. Those were the questions that I had. I particularly love talking to you because you are a fabulous speaker. I feel you're very articulate, more than having everything grammatically correct or everything correct, but in terms of pronunciation or words or anything that is. I feel you're a very convincing speaker. Um,
Thank you.
I think, yeah,
Thank you.
that's the word I'm searching for. And you're very articulate the way you were talking, even in the debate round. I mean, not the debate round, the switch round. It's actually difficult talking for both the sides of a particular topic or a particular motion. And you did that quite smoothly, which was and the transition was pretty smooth or easy. So that was really convincing. That is one. And I did not find a lot of problems obviously in your speech. As I told you at the beginning as well, you don't seem like a beginner, you seem like more of an advanced speaker. So obviously it would be more difficult to find problems. So I was kind of picking through your conversation to find out anything, if at all. So I could find like 3 or 4 things, but those where I could understand, the theory part of it, those just happened because you were speaking fast. Well, you were not thinking about the sentence at that moment, which is okay, happens with all of us. But still, I'll just let you know about those so that you can be a little more conscious about
Absolutely.
these things, right, from the next time. One thing you said, that you can better analyze yourself. Okay, so it's always better to say you can analyze yourself better. So it's always better to kind of put the adverb in the object part, like not before the verb. So instead of saying better analyze yourself, it's better to say analyze yourself better. Okay, I mean
Okay.
it's not technically incorrect, but this sounds better, and this is the more convenient structure. That is one. And another thing you said that this is one of the things people are struggling. You missed the with part. So the preposition was missing over there. So when we are forming sentences like this, sometimes we miss the prepositions because this is exactly not the conventional structure, not structure, subject, verb, object structure. So sometimes because it's easier to say the book is on the table, but the table the book is on, sometimes people miss that on there because the structure has changed.
Correct.
So when the structure has changed, I would like you to become a little more conscious about the prepositions, if you have given the prepositions in the correct places or not. Okay, there's that.
Yeah.
Then once you said, I don't know if you said the best, but once I thought that maybe you missed the before best, but it could also be that you spoke it really fast and I could not understand if you said the before best or not. But in case if you haven't said, just a friendly reminder that the should always be given before superlative degrees. But I think you already know that. So in case if you haven't made the mistake, then my bad. But I still wanted to make you cautious about this. Okay. And one last thing is, you said society think. Society is a collective noun, so it will be used as a singular entity. So society thinks. Okay,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. Apart from that, everything seemed fine. I did not find a lot of problems with phrases, like you said. Fillers also were not a law, were not a menace or a recurring problem. So I don't think you have to be very cautious about it or very worried about it. But for fillers, I can just say, just try to get maybe innovative or creative with your fillers, instead of just repeating the same kind of fillers, like there's that. Just try to get maybe creative. Try to understand what you're saying sometimes. And the thing is, we use fillers mostly because we're very afraid of silence. So when our brains want some time to think about something, we just fill the silence with like or something. So just try to maybe be comfortable with that silence. Even if you have to be silent for 2 3 seconds, it's okay. Try to be comfortable with that, and maybe use hand gestures to fill up the silence if necessary. So that way sometimes you will be able to overcome the use of a lot of fillers. But you did not use a lot, so that's, I think that's fine anyway. Okay.
Yeah. Awesome.
So yeah, these are my
And
suggestions. Yeah. Do you have anything to say? Yeah.
okay, all I have to say is, say for example, failures mostly when we use when we are out of our thoughts, and
Yes.
when something new is given to you to speak on,
Yes. Yes.
then you start thinking about it, you start
Yes.
framing sentences, and
Mm-hmm.
then the continuity sometimes goes for a toss, and you're
Yes.
not able to comprehend things properly.
Mm-hmm.
So there your filler comes into place.
Yes.
So what do you think how one should, because you've already given the reasons, you've
Yeah.
already given
Yeah.
your
Yeah.
thoughts on it, but do you
Yeah.
think anything else can probably be helpful for me, can might help for me?
See, the thing with fillers is it's a very common problem. One, and it's a very, how do I put it? It's not a thing that you can just solve in one day. That I'll do this and my fillers will go away. It's not possible. That's one thing. So if your brain needs time, so fillers are a problem of the mouth. I have come to understand. Come to understand that our mouths just keep on speaking when our brains are thinking. That's why I said that we use fillers mostly because we're uncomfortable about the silence, that our brains need time to think. So you can, if you're given a topic, for example, I also gave you a topic, you can say that I need 2 minutes to think about it. And you can maybe try to structure your points once and then start, and see if you're using the same amount of fillers then as well. I don't think you would, because even in today's session, you did not use a lot of fillers. So yes, sometimes fillers are used to kind of navigate through the sense of uncomfort that we, or discomfort that we have. But sometimes it's okay to just let the silence prevail and use hand gestures maybe. And sometimes I always suggest that recording yourself while you're speaking on any random topic. Maybe choose a random topic and speak to yourself and record yourself and see how much fillers, how many fillers you're using, and how many times it's getting repeated, and when exactly are you repeating it. So that can often help you to find out the causes why you are repeating the fillers and where exactly, and try to solve those deeper down.
Sure,
Okay.
absolutely. That sounds
Yes.
really helpful, and I would certainly
Yeah.
like to work on them. So thank you
Yeah.
again for the feedback, and that was really,
All right.
marvelous, I would say. Yeah, great
Yes,
feedback.
thank you so much. Yes, hopefully we'll meet again and we'll be able to talk about another conversation, another topic. And yeah, till then, take care. Thank you so much for joining. Bye bye.
Yeah,
Good night.
yeah. Bye for
Thank
now.
you.
Good night.
Bye bye. Take care. Bye bye.